Now let's send it to Los Angeles for Game 5 and two of the greats, Dick Stockton and Hubie Brown.
All right, Kevin, thank you very much. And a great game in Portland. The Trailblazers are in the Western Conference Finals, and the LA Lakers are being introduced right now. And they hope to join the Trailblazers as they lead the Phoenix Suns 3-1 in their best of 7 series. And the Phoenix Suns winning on Sunday by 19 points in a crushing victory over the Lakers. And, you know, Hubie, in a lot of ways, when you look at this series, the Phoenix Suns easily could be the team up 3-1.
Well, when you look at it, Dick, Game 2, Kobe Bryant makes the winning basket with 2.6 seconds to go to win by 1. In Game 3, Phoenix is ahead with 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go. They're up 1, but an injury to Cliff Robinson kind of negated them in their execution down the wire. Now, we know that in order for them to win on the road here tonight, Jason Kidd must come in with a big game. Can they shoot a high percentage in threes? They made 10 threes on Sunday. And then play the Lakers even on the glass, cut down on the turnover. They do those things, we should have a barn burner.
And here is a look at tonight's Gatorade starting lineups. Cliff Robinson, Sean Marion, Luke Longley, Penny Hardaway, and Jason Kidd for the Suns. AC Green with Glenn Rice and Shaquille O'Neal up front, Kobe Bryant and Ron Harper in the backcourt. Right now to the third member of our team tonight, Lewis Johnson.
Thank you, Dick. You know, back in Game 4, Phil Jackson and Scott Skiles got into what seemed to be a battle calling timeouts. Phil Jackson called the first timeout after he was upset that a foul had been called with 14 seconds left to go in the game, even though Phoenix was leading the game commandingly. Scott Skiles counters with another timeout, and then Phil Jackson comes back with another one. And you know, the verbal garbage flew all over the place. Well, I talked to Scott Skiles before the game tonight, and he told me that he's not going to let any of this verbal talk get into his heads or any of the players' heads. Phil Jackson told me before the game that maybe Phoenix popped off just a little bit too much. After all, the Lakers have beat the Suns 7 of 8 times this year. Nick?
Well, there's definitely an undercurrent of dislike between these two teams that developed in that last game. And Ron Harper saying Tuesday we're going to beat the bleep out of them. So the gauntlet has been thrown, ready to go. Dan Crawford, Bernie Fire, and Louis Grillo, the officials, getting set for Game 5. The Lakers have won 22 of their last 23 here at home, including the playoffs, and undefeated, of course, in postseason.
Now, in this series, Kobe Bryant and Fox are the only 2 perimeter guys shooting a decent percentage. We know that Shaq has been almost unstoppable inside.
Here's Shaquille O'Neal guarded by Luke Longley, and he gets the first points of the game.
Well, he's averaging 34 points and 15 rebounds, and he's just doing a remarkable job shooting 60%. Now, what dampened him in Game 4 was the fact that he was in foul trouble and only played 34 minutes.
Lakers 5-0 in the playoffs at home, 1-3 on the road, and Cliff Robinson, who established a career playoff high with 32 points Sunday. An amazing achievement despite the sprained ankle on Friday night that really hampered him.
Dick, you love this game right now. He's on top of it. He's making threes, and he's come in with 30-plus on 2 of the last 3 playoff games.
Kobe Bryant trying to post up against Hardaway, who fronts him, and the pass to AC Green is bobbled, and the loose ball picked up by Kidd. He'll try to force it up.
This is where he's at his best, and they are at their best.
Sean Marion going up, and is tied up, and will have a jump ball.
Now you can see, Dick, over on that other side, the Phoenix bench going absolutely crazy. They thought that Marion was fouled. He takes this one right into Shaq. You're going to see it right there. Now, we know that there was a ton of contact there, not only with the arm, but also with the body. So they come out of this with a wash, and that's not what Phoenix wants to see.
You can anticipate the Lakers being angry for the first time in this series after their embarrassment in game number 4. Here is Kobe Bryant, open, and misses a 3. He's now 1 of 11 from three-point range.
Yeah, the entire group, they're struggling from the three-point line, but Kobe Bryant, like we said earlier, is shooting nice 47% from the field in 2.
Marion has it knocked away. Good defensive play by Harper. A 2-on-1 for the Lakers, and Kidd fouls Bryant from behind. So Harper on the defensive end, and the foul called against Kidd.
Yeah, I like that play. That was a heads-up play. He's in a 2-on-1 situation. It was going to be a layup or a dunk. You foul, you make him take it out on the side. Jason Kidd is a guy who normally does not get in foul trouble.
Suns scoring 117 points, the most allowed by the Lakers all year, and led by as many as 29, the biggest deficit LA has faced. The runner by Harper doesn't go, and here's Kidd. A lot of energetic, and don't forget playing with that fractured ankle. Here is Robinson for three. Shaq with the rebound.
A thing tonight for Jason Kidd. Yes, push the ball, but look for your own shot. According to Scott Skiles, the team plays much better when he's looking to be offensive conscious.
Here is Shaquille O'Neal going up and under Luke Longley, and Longley getting the rebound for the Suns. Longley not playing that much. 13 minutes, his shortest stint with only 2 points on Sunday.
Yeah, Dick, that happens with him. He always gets in early foul trouble. Now, in the early going here, we're noticing that this group is allowing a lot of physical banging.
Hardaway leaves it on the pick and spot up, and Longley hits the shot. And if the Suns get that, that'll be a big bonus.
If he hits the jumper, Dick, that will open up the baseline drives for Hardaway, Cliff Robinson, and Marion. That is critical for Phoenix.
Shaq getting the ball in good position, and a pushing foul before the shot went up. As you see the early shooting in the game, and Longley picking up his first.
Well, anytime that Shaq catches the ball in the paint, Phoenix has been rather consistent. They foul Shaq right away.
Triple team on Shaq, and the ball knocked away, and the Suns get it back. They have a 3-on-2. Hardaway taking it strong, and it's deflected out of bounds. Last touch by the Lakers.
This is a perfect game where the players must adjust early to physical contact. Because if they continue to referee this game for 48 minutes, it's going to be a lot of contact, and you now have got to be able to score while you're getting banged, and no crying. There's not going to be any fouls.
Jason Kidd misses a three. Kidd coming off his first career triple-double, and a tremendous all-round performance in the playoffs, that is, for Jason. He's done it many times in the regular year. 4-2 in favor of the Suns. And here is Glenn Rice. Rice with a basket. He has been struggling big time, shooting only 30% in the series.
Yeah, but shooters like Rice, they're never going to back away from the shot. He's going to be looking time and time again.
And the pass underneath. And Sean Marion did not convert despite Shaq's presence. Got the ball up.
Yeah, Phoenix a little tight, Dick. They've been down here 3 times attacking the rim, coming away with no score.
Shaquille O'Neal, who on Sunday scoring his fewest points of the series, only 24. That's the low for him.
Well, when you look at all of the games that he has played, and the reason why the Sacramento series was so close, because they held them 25 and under in 3 out of the 5 games.
Not so in this series, as Shaquille O'Neal had 37, 38, and 37 before Game 4. Lakers by 2, under 8 minutes to go in the first. Here's the double team. Shaq finding A.C. Green and blocked. And that was Marion who got a hand on it. Suns trying to keep their tempo high. Robinson to Marion. Good feed and good passing by the Suns.
They took that trap in the corner. A nice pass by Hardaway, and then the second pass. The old story, 2 passes out of the traps, usually where we like open shot.
Kobe Bryant still looking for his first points, averaging 22 in the series, and that is what he averaged in the regular year. And Marion all over Glenn Rice. 6 on the shot clock for the Lakers, and Kobe may have to take the shot himself. He does, and he hits. It's a 3 for Kobe Bryant.
Kobe needed that for his perimeter game and his confidence on the outside.
And Rice called for the foul on Penny Hardaway, trying to come around the screen.
At the Phoenix end, Dick, you just would like for them to stop releasing the jumpers so early on the shot clock, and let's look to go off the dribble. Now, this is Kobe sizing things up. We told you that he came into this game 1 for 10 in threes. He's 1 for 2 this evening.
Just tell me, what can I do to make you happy?
Today, my schoolmates and I went to a reading workshop. I was really excited because Keith Van Horn from the New Jersey Nets was there. He was a lot taller than I thought. Keith explained how important reading is and how fun it can be. I already like to read, but he showed me that reading is cool too. Today was a good day.
Will you be watching? watching that Phoenix-Laker game tonight?
Well, yeah. I mean, I must say I'm going to watch it. You know, hopefully they can stretch that series out a little bit more and give us an opportunity to start resting a little bit and start to focus on our next opponent.
Congratulations, Scottie. Continued success.
Scottie Pippen, who hit the big three-point basket that put the Blazers ahead to stay in a heartbreaking loss for the Utah Jazz, and of course the final game of Jeff Hornacek's career tonight.
Well, really one of the truly great gentlemen that we've had in the league, Jeff Hornacek, as well as being one of the all-time great shooters. We not only mean just from the two-point range, but also three-point shooting and foul shooting. His combined shooting percentage is just outstanding. And when you think that coming out of high school, he was a non-scholarship walk-on at Iowa State, and then a second-round draft choice at Phoenix, you just add up what he has accomplished in his career. Outstanding.
And now we're looking at a guy who really is the true barometer for the Suns tonight, Jason Kidd.
Well, Jason has got to do it, Dick. Every other game, he's been able to put up spectacular numbers. And we said that he's averaging 40 minutes a game. Now, we're talking about a person who was questionable in this series because of the broken angle and the screws in that angle. But they need him to score some points tonight and also to get off some three-point attempts as well as pushing the basketball.
Lakers lead by 3. They're led by Shaquille O'Neal, who has 4 points thus far, and Kobe Bryant has 3, so the 1-2 punch getting off to the start for the Lakers.
Yeah, Phoenix struggling, everything on the perimeter. They are definitely not hot. They're off to a slow start.
Kobe Bryant feels it tonight, and it's a 5-point lead. Bryant now with 5 points, and he had a man in his face.
Yeah, and this guy's looking for a shot tonight. Kobe said, look, hey, I'm struggling from the foul line. I'm getting to the line 8 times a game. I'm only shooting 69%. Jason Kidd is lighting me up a little bit. I'm coming out stomping in this one.
And the ball knocked out of bounds. It was off Penny Hardaway's knee, and so on the turnover, the Lakers better get it back halfway through this opening quarter. The Lakers beating the Suns 7 straight times before losing on Sunday in a game Phil Jackson said we were out of it early, never felt it, and trying to regroup tonight and finish off Phoenix in 5. Shaq given the shot by O'Neal. And here is A.C. Green at the shot clock buzzer, but it comes down to Shaq. Out to Rice. Rice is going to try a 3, and he's got it.
The second shot opportunities for both teams have been very big in this series. Phoenix averaging 14, and tonight they have not been able to pick up a second shot attempt. The Lakers 14 at the other end.
Here is Penny Hardaway, and Longley trying to tip it in, couldn't. And now the Lakers come back. They have outscored the Suns 12-2, and here is Glenn Rice going up, and the ball knocked out of bounds, last touched by Marion. So here is Rice coming into the game, 30% from the field, 27% from threes, really struggling, and he's trying to get on the way.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed in the type of intensity at the Phoenix end of the floor. For whatever reason, they're not playing with the spirit and the zip that I thought that we would see. And then also, when you settle for the jumpers and you are not making them, plus by doing that, you're not penetrating, getting to the foul line, and getting easy opportunities.
We want to welcome those watching in Canada on TSN, and when we came on, told you about how impressive the Lakers have been at home, and let's take a closer look. 5-0 at home in the playoffs, 1-3 on the road. Look at those numbers.
Well, you can see right there, the field goal percentage is a -8 on the road, and then also the free throw percentage. Now in games 3 and 4, they missed 16 foul shots in game 3 and 17 foul shots in game 4. Then the rebounding margin. And Sacramento and Phoenix at home were able to reduce them and play them even on the boards.
Here is Rice, who already has 5 points. Scoring 15 in game 4. That's his playoff high. And O'Neal going up and is fouled. And Shaquille O'Neal fouled by Luke Longley, picking up his second. So it won't be long before we may see Corey Blunt, who has played very well as the backup center for Scott Skiles, come in.
Well, I like what Shaq is doing right now. Because the double team has been coming so hard on him, he was waiting and then looking for the cutters. That time on the catch, he made a quick move, and then he gave a little head fake.
Shaq shooting 51% from the line in the series, misses the first free throw. Here is Corey Blunt, replaces Luke Longley, who goes to the bench with 2 points and 2 personal fouls. And right now, all of the Lakers' points from their big three of Shaq, Kobe Bryant, and Glenn Rice.
Well, that's what you get paid for. You're supposed to be the 3 main men, and they're coming out and playing big.
Well, they don't pay Shaq for making the free throws, though.
No, Shaq is getting to the line for 12 foul shot attempts, and so Kobe is getting there 8 times. So between the two of them, you say 20 a night. That's a lot of foul shot attempts.
Here is Penny Hardaway laying it in. Penny Hardaway, very poised and in control throughout the series. And when the Suns have problems scoring, he takes it on his shoulder.
Well, Dick, they cannot play him off the dribble. When Robinson puts it down, Rodgers and Hardaway, they get down inside the painted area and they usually score. So why settle for the jumper early?
Robinson guarding Kobe Bryant, who goes baseline and knocks it away. Gets the shot up there and misses with 1 second on the clock. And there's the flip out. It's 3-on-1 right now, and the Suns mess it up and couldn't keep it in bounds. Rodgers, who has come into the game, and Penny Hardaway could not control it. And the point you made 2 minutes ago, that the Phoenix Suns are playing with no energy at this point.
Yeah, and I'm kind of surprised because, you know, we had them on Friday night in Game 3 where they were coming out playing with incredible energies. Now, I realize this is a road game in that, and you like to play off your confidence of hitting your shots early. Well, they're going to have to start digging here right now.
Green off the screen from Rice, misses. Shaq gets the offensive rebound, and the loose ball. The Lakers are beating the Suns to the punch and getting a lot of second shots here.
Yeah, the second shot attempts are big. Now, the people here are getting upset they thought Shaq was fouled. Well, we've had some major, outstanding fouls at the other end that also were non-calls.
9 on the shot clock. Green looking for Shaq. Corey Blunt doing a good job fronting him, and Blunt getting the rebound on Shaq's miss. Suns trail by 6. 3:15 to go in the first. And so far, Jason Kidd has not scored. Cliff Robinson misses a runner. Suns get it back. Kidd driving around Rice. Open is Robinson, and the Suns cannot get anything, and they're getting some good looks. Robinson again. He hits the 3. Cliff Robinson hitting the first 3-pointer for the Suns tonight.
Now, see, in that series of plays, Robinson just blew by Rice. We know Hardaway can take his man off the dribble, Ron Harper. Okay, he can do it time and time again. And also, Rodgers is too quick for his matchup.
Here is Kobe Bryant, and Bryant is definitely feeling it tonight. 7 points. In fact, he and Shaq have 11 of the Lakers' 16.
Well, many times a coach will go to the player at the other end. You know, what you want to do is you want to make him work hard, but also you want to get Penny Hardaway in the game. Kobe's on fire. Hardaway is playing him, and what you'd like to see is Hardaway to get some catches here so that he can get some confidence in this game.
Kobe Bryant committing the foul, and Robert Horry will check in for the Lakers when we return.
Now, Phoenix in transition. See, they catch the Lakers scrambling. Now, Jason Kidd gets down inside. Now, he gets down in. Now, they always like to kick the ball out to Robinson at the spot. Now, just watch what happens. Up until this time, we're telling you that a team is averaging 14 offensive rebounds in a series. Now, right there was only their second offensive rebound in spite of all of their misses. They must continue to crash and kick out because their perimeter guys, Jason Kidd, Cliff Robinson, and then Rodgers, they have got to come in with some key three-point shooting if Phoenix is going to get this done.
Rodgers especially has a slump. He missed his first 12 from 3 in the series, only 2 of 18, and they count on him for that, and we'll see what he does on the road. So we're winding down close to 2-minute mark here in the first quarter. Rodgers setting a screen for Kidd. Kidd still scoreless, and now he ends the drought with the basket.
See, that side up screen has caused the Lakers a ton of problems throughout this series because the Lakers switch back into the post, things reopen because they try to contest the post, and then you are going to get shots if you come off that screen looking to score.
Under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Rice off the front rim, and Shaq with another offensive rebound. And Horry has it in the corner. He'll fire a 3 way off. And the Lakers getting another offensive rebound. The Lakers killing the Suns on the offensive glass. They have 6 already. Plenty of time on the shot clock, and Glenn Rice goes up and is fouled. The Lakers are tattooing the Suns on the offensive board, and Robinson picking up the foul.
Well, in the games that the Lakers have dominated and won, Shaq is the monster. And Shaq is averaging 6 offensive boards a game. And in the early going tonight, you can see he is all business. And when he's all business and he continues to get them second chance shot attempts, well, then we know that they're going to either score or they're going to get fouled and get on the foul line. And that's where they've been able to hurt Phoenix in the games that they have won.
No one really talked for the Lakers after the game. Phil Jackson did not talk to the media, had nothing to say. In fact, he did not speak to the team at halftime. And Ron Harper was the only spokesman. And he brought out yesterday, he said, this team, unlike the Bulls, does not have the killer instinct. It remains to be seen whether they develop it. 1:15 to go here in the first quarter. And Harper all over Hardaway. Kidd firing a 3. And fighting for the offensive rebound, and it's last touched by the Suns. I want to remind you, tomorrow on TNT, a big one. Game 5 of the Knicks at the Heat. Coverage begins at 8 p.m. Eastern. You have a feeling that series could be heading for 7. Here is Shaq, doubled with Kidd and Blunt, and Harper gets around on the baseline for a first layup, and the Lakers up by 7.
Yeah, they continue to run people on the baseline as well as the man from the top of the circle every time Shaq is double teamed.
And the Lakers coming right back down. That was Robinson who missed the shot. Nearly a half a minute to go, and Harper trying to tip in his own miss, and the Suns coming out with it. They have not done a good job at all on their defensive board in this first quarter, but trail by 7. Directing traffic is Penny Hardaway going baseline against Bryant. Gets his own rebound and a foul and a good hustle by Penny.
All throughout this series, Penny Hardaway has been an ace in the hole for Phoenix. Anytime you hit him down in the corners, along the baseline, he has been able to make the catch or off a post-up, turn face his man, and beat him off the dribble. Now, he'll either score off the dribble or he'll get fouled and go to the foul line where he's shooting a nice solid percentage.
His best scoring game was the 31-point effort in game number 3, and he's been over the 20s in 2 other contests, so the Suns have relied on him. Here is Derek Fisher coming into the game, replacing Ron Harper, so Fisher gets the first call and not Brian Shaw from Phil Jackson off the bench.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising because Brian Shaw has just put together a terrific series. He's averaging 9 points and 4 assists in limited playing time. He has been a definite spark in the games which the Lakers have been able to win.
In fact, Shaw comes in as the 4th leading scorer for the Lakers in this series. Corey Blunt picking up the loose ball foul. And just as we have praised Mr. Shaw, he gets off the bench and he'll come in as well. Robert Horry on the free throw line. Horry having his best game off the boards with 9 in the losing cause against the Suns on Sunday. There's the problem from the line again.
Now this is interesting what they're doing right now. They're bringing Travis Knight in now for O'Neal, and you look up, you say, why is that? Well, you want to give him a little rest now and then the rest in between the periods. Now in this series, Shaq is averaging over 41 minutes a game, so you know that he is logging big time.
And you know he's going to be playing a lot of minutes the rest of these playoffs. So the final seconds, LA 3 of 6 from the free throw line, and here is Jason Kidd. Robinson called for the offensive foul as he knocks Rice to the floor.
That was a good call. Excellent anticipation by the Laker defense. Be careful now because you can make a catch and get in at least 2 dribbles. This is a good call by the referee right on top of the call.
And Shaq's coming back in with 2.8 on the clock.
Well, now, at any time that you can possibly make a long pass, now Phoenix keeping a man in front and in back of Shaq.
Here is Horry, and it's blocked by Rogers as time runs out in the first quarter as the Phoenix Suns held to 14 points. That's the lowest total by either team in any quarter in the series. And after one period of play here at the Staples Center, in Game 5, the Lakers lead the Suns by a score of 21-14. Lakers leading the Suns 21-14 as we start the second quarter here at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. Playoff time. Mr. Rubberface himself, Jim Carrey, in the audience. Gary Marshall. And of course, as you might expect, Penny Marshall is here. And Jack Nicholson. We won't get into the background of New Jersey with Hubie Brown. We did that in Game 1, Hubie. So, all right. But here we are getting set for the second quarter. The Suns shooting 30%, the Lakers only 33%, but the Lakers having the edge in the offensive pool.
Well, there are plenty of rebounds to be had, and you got to give the Lakers credit. Shaq is leading the Lakers with 3.
And Cliff Robinson has 5 to top the Suns. Here is Jason Kidd. 2-point attempt misses, but Rogers is there, has it knocked away by Robert Horry, and a great play by Horry. Rogers seemed to have it underneath for the lay-in, and Horry wouldn't let him get going.
Well, in the early going, Jason Kidd is 0 for 3 in threes. Right now, the team as a whole, only 1 for 5. Now, this is a big stat because we tell you the reason why they looked so good on Sunday, they were 10 for 21 shooting that 3-point shot.
Kobe Bryant now 4 of 6 from the field, including a 3-point basket, and the lead is 9 for the Lakers.
Yeah, Kobe is in just a nice even flow, not rushing anything.
Kobe Bryant really hasn't had a breakout game yet in the series. In foul trouble once. He did get the winning basket in Game 2 to win it for the Lakers by 1. And Kidd dribbling the ball, and the Lakers called for the illegal defense, the first call of the night.
Well, they're saying that the players who made the commitment did not come on the double team.
Kidd looking inside, loops it into Penny Hardaway, and it's knocked away. The Suns playing in a fog in a game that they need. They're out of it if they lose this game, and their season is over. And they know they're going to have to raise the game a notch to win on the road here against L.A. Here is Shaq, who has 9. The hop step and the miss. Now the Suns with 3 on 3. Rogers to Corey Blunt. And the former Laker cannot convert, and the Lakers get it back. So nothing going right for the Suns.
Absolutely nothing. That's at least their 5th opportunity that they could have scored in transition on the break. 0 for 5.
Here is the lob, Laker style, and it doesn't work for Shaq. And the Suns bringing it back up. Rogers going up and draws the foul. Rodney Rogers will go to the line, and the Lakers committing the foul.
The game is so ragged at both ends of the floor. Outside of Kobe Bryant, who's in a nice free flow, you know, he's shooting a nice percentage here tonight. Everyone else is rather struggling. At the Phoenix end, we have everybody a little uptight. They cannot make their perimeter shots. They're struggling in threes, and they've already turned the ball over 5 times. Now, we know that you cannot get that done against any team, especially the Lakers at home. Things have got to improve from Phoenix, and you'd like to see them start sending stuff down with a little bit more authority.
Shaq going to the bench with 4 points in the game and replaced by Travis Knight. So right now the Lakers are going with their bench. You have a Shaw, Knight, Fox, Horry, and Kobe Bryant, the only member of the starting team.
Now this is the first time we've seen the 2-2-1 trap. Now they drop off, play matchup man-to-man.
Kidd guarding Shaw. Here is Fox coming around the screen. Kidd guarding Fox, so there's a mismatch somewhere. Horry hitting a 3. Robert Horry. And the Lakers connecting from beyond the arc and now spread it open by 10.
You just love Horry's outside game. He's really come into his own again. Back in shape, not questioning his perimeter game.
Another turnover. Rogers kicks it away. A 3-on-1. And here is Horry from Shaw. Robert Horry, and the Lakers lead at 28-16 now, and a timeout called by the Suns. And maybe the Lakers are developing that killer instinct. 9:23 remaining. remaining in the first half, and the Suns want to talk it over.
Rabidori has been playing close to 30 minutes a game, making things happen at the defensive end of the floor, and then the three-point shooting is there, finishing.
It's funny because they always talk about how you got to play some more, you got to play some more. Yet if I miss one of their events, it's like, when are you gonna quit? When are you gonna quit? So, right, Ty?
Well, the kids will have them home now, and as we mentioned, Jeff Hornacek and Hubie Brown going over the great career class guy and a great shooter. But right here, the Lakers with a 12-point lead. That's their biggest margin since Game 2.
And we know that the Lakers are not playing at the top of their game. They are just benefiting by the very sloppy play at the offensive end of the floor. Well, not only the turnovers, the missed threes, and also the missed opportunities in the paint.
Kevin Johnson has come in, replacing Jason Kidd, off to a slow start tonight. And a lot of the shots are just going in and out, in all fairness to the Suns, like that one by Penny Hardaway rimming the hoop and coming out. So Jason Kidd getting his first rest tonight, having scored 2 points. And foul is on Cliff Robinson, so now he has picked up 3 to make matters worse. So Robinson, their top performer offensively, going to the bench, and he is replaced by Rogers.
Yeah, see, that's critical. In this series, Cliff is averaging 25 points a game, getting you 6 rebounds, a major three-point threat.
Here is Derek Fisher, wide open hitting. So Fisher coming off the bench, and it's 30-16. And Kidd, as we mentioned, on the bench, only 1 for 4 shooting thus far in the game. And as you mentioned, he's the barometer for this team tonight. Hardaway going up with it. And that one in and out off the glass. Laker ball.
When Jason Kidd is pushing down your throat the basketball off the dribble in transition, then the 3 guys who have been stepping up have been Hardaway, Rogers, and Robinson, and they've been doing a great scoring job. Now tonight, Kidd is struggling with a shot, and no one can get off the schneid. No one can get into any type of a flow.
Here is Fox. The 3, he's got it. Rick Fox with a 3, and that is the 4th three-pointer for the Lakers, and they're leading 33-16, and LA's bench has already scored 11 points. No basket, and illegal defense against the Lakers, and that'll be a technical free throw coming up.
Well, you know, it's interesting, Dick. You take the game on Sunday. The Lakers were 2 for 16 in threes. Home court, home cooking. And also the fact that familiar plays, the people are up for this game, and they are all shooting in a major flow.
4 of 7 tonight, and what an improvement. And Rick Fox, for one, who was actually thrown out of Sunday's game late because of the 2 fouls against Cliff Robinson, and that is uncharacteristic.
Yes, totally uncharacteristic and uncalled for at that time. And there had to be something that happened maybe a few trips before. And usually you do not see Rick Fox ever lose his temper.
Kevin Johnson coming out of retirement to join the Suns when the Kid fractured his ankle, hitting the basket. 33-18 with under 8 minutes to go in the first half.
Well, you want to make a little bit of a run now, if you can, against the Lakers' second unit that's on the floor. But then again, they have the guy right there with the ball that neutralizes things.
Here's Fox again. And Shaq knocking it down and ahead of the field, and Marion, and it's thrown away by Rodney Rogers. This team still out of sync, the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, it's sad, mainly because of how well they played in games 2, 3, and 4. They could have very easily won game 2 here. That Kobe won on the last shot with 2.6 seconds to go. And then in game 3 at home, up by 1 with 2:50 to go. And then the house fell in. They were outscored 10-2.
But you know what they say, all you have to do is be good enough to win.
There you go.
Right?
Oh, that's how it's playoff time. It doesn't matter whether you win by 1 or you win by 25.
15-point lead now for the Lakers. They're not far from 25. Fisher on the catch and shot. Longley into the game. Marion getting the rebound. So the Suns now with Kevin Johnson, Rodney Rogers, Sean Marion. Todd Day is in there and Luke Longley. Johnson using the screen from Longley again, in and out.
Second shot attempt is not there tonight for Phoenix. The live bodies crashing the offensive glass. We only saw the one little flurry, and that happened right before the end of the first period.
And Cliff Robinson, who had 4 offensive rebounds in the last game, is hampered with 3 personals on the bench. Todd Day called for the personal foul, and a timeout coming up. Suns have turned it over 7 times. They're shooting 28%, and that's only half of their problem.
A force has been unleashed.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
And the elimination continues. With the storm comes the battle. And in a test of pride and passion, only the strong will be left standing. The Knicks versus the Heat tomorrow on TNT.
Back here at the Staples Center, the Lakers have had things their way, leading 33-18. And to look back, bring up to date on the series, Lakers taking advantage of Suns turnovers to win big in Game 1. Kobe Bryant won the game by 1 point with his shot down the stretch in Game 2. Shaq went crazy in Game number 3. And then Jason Kidd's first playoff triple-double plus other things sparking the Suns to their survival win, but it's a different story so far tonight.
Right now they need a defensive spurt. They've got to hold the Lakers to 1 shot attempt, get them to miss, get out in the open floor, make some things happen, and get a little confidence builder. Try to get it down, to 7 or 8 at halftime.
And the Lakers going with their bench a long while tonight, as well they can with this heavy lead. Holding on 33-18. Penny Hardaway, Cliff Robinson, and Jason Kidd 3 for 16 tonight after shooting over 50% on Sunday.
That side screen on the transition break is freeing the jump shooter in the corner time and time again for Phoenix. They just cannot make the shot.
Shaq guarded by Longley, and the bad pass, and Rogers gets the easy basket.
Well, maybe they'll get you going, because in spite of everything, you're only 13 down. As bad as things are, and you know that you can get some good shots, they have been there for you. You know you can attack the basket, but you must do something at the defensive end to get yourself out in the open floor.
Shaq getting it in good position, and Longley will be charged with his 3rd foul. So the Suns with Robinson and Longley now, each with 3 personal fouls. And Shaq will go to the line. First coming up on TNT, a Saturday night new classic.
Watch Susan Sarandon, Michelle Pfeiffer, Cher, and Jack Nicholson in The Witches of Eastwick, Saturday at 8 on TNT.
And, of course, Jack Nicholson in the movie Sans Mustache, which he sports right now. Very casual when he comes to the Laker games, as he has for years. Shaquille O'Neal, 4 for 12 from the line on Sunday, and makes his first tonight. 1 for 4 from the line. Jason Kidd back in there for Phoenix.
You like to see something happen in your half-court sets. Todd Day's in there right now, a perimeter shooter. You have Rodney Rogers, so you know you're looking to Todd Day, Rodney Rogers, and Jason Kidd must come alive with this unit.
Rory Blunt also in the game, and the kick ball. So the Suns will keep it with 5:33 to go, down by 14. And, of course, the rule of thumb, coach, is that you want to get it under double digits.
Well, you want to get under double digits because you know that the high percentage shot is there for you. You just got to keep doing what you're doing. Things will open up, and then you've got to hit a hot streak.
Here is Rogers. Offensive rebound by Corey Blunt.
Blunt's doing a nice job for them this evening.
And Jason Kidd with a runner, blocked by Shaq, but Kidd gets the ball back. And losing it out of bounds is Rogers. And the Suns turning it over again. That's their 8th.
Very tough exchange. You hate to give a drop-off pass like that without putting it on the floor when you're in that type of a close quarter. because the guy cutting really doesn't see the pass, and it's on top of him in a blur. But if you put it on the floor, he has a better chance against the pass.
And if you put Bryant with a lot of room on the crossover dribble, Bryant now with 11 points.
Well, they continue to bring Kobe off the screens, and as Kobe's coming off the screen, the defender is laying too far back, cannot give any help.
Once again, the Suns, early offense, too early maybe. Day misses the jumper. And there is Shaw. Shaq gets the rebound and puts it in.
Well, the big fella in this series has been a monster, not only just with the points and the total rebounds, but at the offensive end of the floor. He's averaging 6 boards, 6 offensive boards.
And another turnover by the Phoenix Suns, and they can't get out of their own way. Jason Kidd and the rest of the Suns are struggling as Penny Hardaway replaces Todd Day, and it's going to be very frustrating for Scott Skiles, who's had to withstand so many injuries this year to bring this team in with 53 wins.
Well, he continues to shuffle guys, and he's trying to get any group that can play well together.
Kobe Bryant misses a shot, a rare instance in this game. And Kidd brings it up. The Suns shooting 26%. And it goes lower as Kidd misses an open jumper. 18-point lead for the Lakers. We have 3 minutes and 48 seconds remaining in the first half. Jack has it out high against Corey Blunt. Rebound Rogers.
You still got to continue to push.
And another turnover, and Rodney Rogers trying to get it to Kidd. 10 turnovers already, but it's not the number, it's the way they're turning it over, and it looks like disinterest, which I know is not the case for the Suns. They are really in over their heads right now.
That is the second fast break that they've tried to throw a pass 30 feet down on that left side of the floor that's gone out of bounds.
NBA Playoffs 2000 on TNT. Brought to you by Keystone Light, America's never bitter beer. By IBM, are you ready for e-business? And by Chrysler, engineered to be great cars.
We'd like to show you Kobe Bryant right here with the basketball. He's going to take a screen, and his defender is going to fight over the top. Now, as Kobe comes, you'll see Shaq turn and re-screen, and then Kobe will come back down the middle. Now, keep an eye on his man, and you're going to see he gets picked off. You see how deep Blount is right there? All right, what they do is they set the screen, and then they reset, bringing you back in the opposite direction. You must have defensive rules of how you're going to cover that. And you can see Blount was too deep to give any help.
Kobe Bryant on 5 for 8 shooting has 11 points, and the big three carrying the way for the Lakers right now, although they are getting some production from their bench with 11 additional points. 38-20, under 3.5 to go. The Lakers leading, trying to wrap it up tonight in 5. Rice is posting up now, and Marion defending him. Shaq setting the screen outside. Now goes low. 1 on the shot clock. Bryant fires it, but O'Neal tried to stuff the offensive rebound. The Lakers get it back with Rice, and a block inside. Coming out of the pack is Marion. It's a 3-on-2 for the Suns. And here is Corey Blunt. Blocked by Robert Horry. Kidd to Marion, and a foul is called. And it's going to be against Corey Blunt. Nothing is going right for the Suns, even when they have the fast break numbers in their favor.
Dick, you got to give the Lakers some credit here. They've done a terrific job in this transition defensively, and then they come up with the big shot block. Now, in games 1 and 2, they dominated. They had 18 shot blocks, but the shot blocking dropped off in games 3 and 4, from 18 down to 6. But we're seeing it again this evening.
Bryant going back to Shaq with the turnaround, and Shaquille O'Neal now with 9 points and 10 rebounds. Remember, he had 20 rebounds in game 2.
Well, there's nothing Blount could do with him down on that left side of the box when he turns to the baseline. He's going away from the double team, and he just shoots up over the top of Blount.
Kobe Bryant with his second foul. Coming up on the AT&T Halftime Report, Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith, and Peter Bessie in the studio, joined by Bucks head coach George Karl. We'll have analysis of this game, highlights from the Blazers' clinching win over the Jazz in Game 1. Three-point attempt missed by Rodney Rogers. So the Suns struggling from the threes. They've only managed one tonight, 1 for 5. Under 2 minutes to go in the first half. It's been all Lakers. Bryant with a fall away. And Bryant with 13 points, upping the Laker lead to 22.
Well, see, and when you're in the playoff time, it always comes down to your main guys. Can your main guys do it? And this is a big game for Phoenix. Their main guys are struggling at the offensive end and at the look at this. How about that?
Horry getting a block on Corey Blunt, a former Laker. And the Lakers now, in the beginning it was really the Suns, but the Lakers have come up big, making some big blocks here as Horry picks up the foul, but the crowd appreciating the hustle.
Yeah, see, Blount really hustles all over at the offense, at the defensive end, offensive boards, but unfortunately for him, he has not been able to convert the easy play inside. Now, give Horry a ton of credit for the shot block. They have done a very good job in their transition defense, meaning the Lakers, picking up, matching up guys, and even though they're out of position, they've been able to force a miss and then hold Phoenix to one shot and then capitalize with a shot clock.
Marion off the front rim doesn't make it. So here are the Suns, who scored 117 points on Sunday and have scored just 20 in 23 minutes in this game.
You'd never believe this. It's something that you had to see. It's just a total breakdown in every offensive facet of the game for Phoenix.
Travis Knight in for Shaquille O'Neal, and Penny Hardaway picking up the foul with 1:06 remaining in the first half, and it has been a nightmare for the Phoenix Suns. Shaq getting another breather.
Well, the way to look at things is anytime that you're struggling, a lot of people will go to a post-up game. Well, unfortunately for Phoenix, they do not have a post-up guy who will be double-teamed. Now, we know that they can run Hardaway in there, but we have not seen it one time in this first half. But they do not have front-court people who post up and command the double-team. So you do not get to the foul line, and what happens is everything stays perimeter.
Robert Horry got a big hand from the crowd as he came out of the game. 6 points and 3 boards and a couple of blocks. Here's Sean Marion with under a minute remaining in the first half. And the reach-in foul called against Glenn Rice. Tomorrow on TNT, Game 5, the Knicks at the Heat. Coverage begins at 8 p.m. Eastern. That has been a grueling series thus far, Hugh.
Well, it has been grueling because no one can put the ball in the basket. Now, we realize that the defense at both ends of the floor has been outstanding. Excellent rotations. Guys taking it strong in that. They're neutralizing one another. We know that they mirror one another offensively as well as defensively. But you would like to see the scoring pick up a little bit and guys knock down the open shots.
13 on the shot clock. Here's Fox with another 3. Rick Fox. 15 points by the Laker bench. And it is 46-22. And a foul is called against the Lakers.
Well, 2 years ago, this team, the Los Angeles Lakers, won 61 games. And at the starting forwards were Rick Fox at small forward and Robert Horry at power forward. So we know that when they come with their bench, and then you add Brian Shaw, who was a starter for the Boston Celtics and a number of other ball clubs, you can bring him in as a point guard or as a second guard. And what you have are 3 quality veteran playoff guys on your second unit.
1 out of 2 for Hardaway. And Fox getting playing time tonight. Played only 9 minutes in game number 4. And the Phoenix Suns in danger of establishing a season low for points in a half. It's 27 right now. And they're not going to make it. They have 23 right now. The Lakers have the ball. Shaw lays it up and in. And it's now 48-23. So even in game 1, when the Lakers won by 28, their halftime lead was only 5. They're blowing them out early here. And the Suns are going to need intermission. That's Travis Knight foul as he goes to the hoop with 3.7 on the clock.
Scott Skiles and his staff really have a monumental job at halftime. We're talking about coming out here in the second half and playing with a passion. And we're talking about trying to overcome the coldest night of their season. Not only can they not make the shot, but then the flow. The flow is being interrupted by the turnovers. And then at the other end of the floor, you cannot stop the opposition from either making a shot or getting the second chance offensive rebound and then scoring or getting fouled.
And it's been a party for the Lakers and Laker fans. The Suns in the second quarter, a measly 2 of 17 from the field, as the Lakers firmly in command at this juncture. Kobe Bryant leading LA with 13 points. And 5 points all in the first quarter is the top scorer for the Suns, and he has 3 fouls. So at the end of the first half, the Lakers 49, the Suns 23. We'll send you back to our studios in Atlanta after these messages.
The AT&T Halftime Report is brought to you by AT&T. It's all within your reach.
Only 23 first-half points for the Phoenix Suns. That's an NBA playoff record in the first half, and they're getting planted by the LA Lakers 49-23 in the game that could be the clincher for the Lakers. Here in Atlanta, time for the AT&T Halftime Report. Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith, Peter Vesey, and Milwaukee head coach George Karl. We're going to talk to all these guys in just a second, but first, we want to show you the highlights of the Jazz and the Blazers, and it came down to this. Scottie Pippen, with his team down 2, cans the 3, 80-79, a shade over 7 seconds to go, and they're loving it at the Rose Garden. Now check this out. Brian Russell inside gets pounded. Will go to the line for 2 with 3 ticks to play. First one. Short. But he's complaining, hey, somebody is shaking the basket.
That's your arm, Brian. That's not the basket.
Karl Malone, in fact, pointing it out to the officiating crew, to Hugh Hollins, but to no avail. Second one, shorter than the first one. Still 80-79. Jeff Hornacek said, hey, we're still only down 1 here. Another chance with the score 81-79, and the last gasp does not go. Was he fouled? Jerry Sloan certainly thinks so.
Pretty good defense by Rasheed Wallace not to foul the shooter.
And it's over. The career of Jeff Hornacek is over. Scottie Pippen the hero in an 81-79 win for the Trailblazers, who take the series 4-1. Afterwards, they were talking about the final shot, and we'll begin with Jerry Sloan.
Well, you watching the game? I saw it. I was looking right at it. Brian Russell got fouled.
I thought I got fouled, and I'm sure Ted was standing right there and seen it, but, you know, he didn't make the call, so there's nothing I can do about it.
What was going on after the first free throw that you were pointing to down along the baseline?
Somebody was sitting there shaking, jumping up and down on the basket, and I'm sure they'll see that too when they look at it on ESPN tonight.
Karl and John are great players. The organization has been great to me and my family, and you know that we'll miss. We'll miss the games, but it's all the other travel and that kind of stuff that we won't miss.
And so it's 81-79, and for the Utah Jazz, since John Stockton's rookie year, they made the playoffs every year. 85-83 postseason record, making it to the finals twice. No rings for that bunch. And it ends tonight in the conference semifinals in 5 games against the Portland Trailblazers. So was he fouled there at the end?
Well, I certainly believe he was fouled. That was Rasheed Wallace, right?
Back at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, the Phoenix Suns setting an NBA record that they've got to be embarrassed about. 23 points, fewest ever in NBA playoff history for a first half as they trail 49-23. Kobe Bryant unleashed tonight, Hubie.
Well, he's 6 for 10 from the field, Dick, and just having a nice half. Not only did he make the 3, he can shoot up over the top of Jason Kidd anytime that there is a switch. He is the only player for the Lakers to put together a high shooting percentage.
Here are the numbers, and they're not pretty. For the Lakers, they are 50% second quarter shooting. The Suns scoring only 9 points in the second quarter. The big 3 of one team outplaying the big 3 of the other.
I think you have to look at it, Dick, and say that the Lakers have done some interesting things. They only have 3 turnovers. They have 10 offensive rebounds, and they made 5 threes. The guys at the other end are shooting 22%. They're shooting themselves in the foot. They have 11 turnovers. And then on the perimeter, Jason Kidd, Hardaway, and Rodgers 3 for 16, but they have 8 turnovers to complicate.
When was the last time you saw a team with more turnovers than field goals?
Oh, absolutely.
And that's what the Phoenix Suns right now. 11 turnovers and only 8 baskets in the game. And not only that, the numbers only begin to tell the story of how lethargic this team is playing, how sloppy they are. They're playing like they're in a fog. And right now, let's take a look at tonight's American Express leaderboard. As Yubi showed you, Kobe with 13, Shaq with 9 points, and Robinson leading the Suns with 5. The most prolific shooter on this team is Robinson, who's 2 for 6. No one else has more than 1 field goal for the Suns in this game.
And, you know, Dick, it's a combination of a lot of things. They've had wide open jump shots anywhere between 10 and 20 feet. They cannot knock a shot down. Their three-point shooting, a disaster. 1 for 7.
Let's check in with Lewis Johnson right now. Lewis?
All right, Dick, thanks. Just talked to Scott Skiles a few moments ago and asked him how does he correct a team that scores an NBA record low in the first half, and he said the biggest problem is just relaxation. He says when the Suns play their kind of ball, get into their kind of groove, relax, and play basketball, they're just fine, but that's not here tonight. That's not what they have in Game 4. He told his guys the question is, how do you want to go out on the floor in the second half and play? We still believe we can win the game, Scott Skiles tells me. It's not over yet, Dick.
All right, Lewis, thank you very much. And this team has played hard for Skiles ever since he took over for Danny Ainge 20 games into the season. And Lakers committing the early foul. And with Portland winning the series tonight, the Lakers obviously not anxious to play an extra game later in this week and give the Blazers an advantage with the rest. Well, Kobe Bryant picking up his third.
You're trying to come out here, Dick, and just try to get it down to around 10 to go in the last quarter only down 10.
Air ball by Hardaway, and the Lakers take over, so Phoenix can't get anything going.
Well, Hardaway's 1 for 7. Jason Kidd 1 for 7. It's extremely difficult. And not only that, but the drives to the basket, everything is being left short.
Double team on Shaq, and AC Green comes in with his first points of the game. He was 0 for 4 prior to that.
Once again, Shaq doing an excellent job on the double team. When that power forward dives from the top of the circle, he finds him with the pass.
AC Green was shut out in Sunday's game as well. Longley can't convert the open baseline jumper. Though the Lakers picking up where they left off, and for that matter, so will the Suns. Shaq trying to get it to Bryant, tipped away. 14 on the shot clock.
When you pass into the post and you make a cut, even if the guy makes a pass and it's deflected out of bounds, you're going to continue to cut and cut hard because you know he's looking for you.
Here's Robinson, who had 3 personals in the first half and had to spend most of it on the bench. Kidd coming off a Longley screen. And the Suns getting looks, and they have throughout the game, but not making them.
I'd just like to see them get back to what we saw in Game 3, and that is hit the people down in the post area, popping out on the wing, taking the Lakers off the dribble and attacking the basket. That we have only seen on a few occasions throughout that entire first half.
Kobe Bryant with a long 3, and Kidd looking down court, bringing it up. Jason Kidd scoring only 2 points in the first half. That after the triple-double on Sunday. And Longley misses another open jumper. So the shooting percentage, which was 21% for the Suns, plummets.
Well, you've seen a lot of teams tight. And this is the tightest that I've ever seen an NBA team in a playoff game.
Well, that's high testimony.
Yeah, and then, you know, plus the turnover. So, you know, you just cannot get into any kind of a flow.
Penny Hardaway driving, going to the basket. And talk about Jason Kidd and how, you know, he has really come up empty so far in this game. No assists in the game. Now, remember, coming in, he averaged more assists in the first 4 games than he did during the regular year when he led the NBA with over 10 a game. Hardaway is on the free throw line. Of course, Hardaway and Shaquille O'Neal, teammates for 3 years with the Orlando Magic and reaching the NBA Finals 5 years ago when they were swept, going their separate ways. And reports that they didn't always get along, and that has been refuted by both players. 51-25 Lakers.
Well, maybe you can get something going here with a little trap. You know, you had your one trap, stay after it.
Glenn Rice Picked up by Marion, now Kidd.
Now you match up.
10 on the clock. Single defense on Shaquille O'Neal. Gets the ball back and the one-hander. Longley with the outlet to Marion. Lakers getting back.
They've done a nice job tonight, Dick.
Marion from Longley, but they don't finish. That's been another one of their problems. They've gotten opportunities, but they've come up empty. So we're more than 3 in this third quarter. The Lakers by 26 points. Jack knocked away by Longley out of bounds. And the Lakers will have 4 seconds to attempt a shot.
Well, anytime that the Lakers commit to one side of the floor in a triangle and they reverse the ball back to the opposite side, they're bringing Shaq right in front of the basket in the paint. And where they're looking for him, that was a nice defensive effort by Luke Longley.
22nd timeout called by the Lakers. Phil Jackson, who didn't have much to say to his team at halftime, nor to the media after the game. And a couple of the comments might have gotten under the skin of Scott Skiles when he said that, we needed another game, meaning tonight's game, before we played again on Saturday. And, some of those comments riled the Suns as a little cocky and arrogant coming from, Jackson and the Laker players. But if you back it up, that's one thing. And that's what Phil Jackson hopes to do in this playoff series. Want to remind you, tomorrow on TNT, Game 5, the Knicks at the Heat as the scene shifts to Miami. Coverage begins at 8 p.m. Eastern. Shaquille O'Neal on the inbound pass. And again, the Lakers beat the Suns to the loose ball. Rice with another offensive rebound is fouled. So nothing has changed as the Lakers are just beating the Suns to the punch.
Well, you can see that the offensive rebounding in this game totally dominant by the Los Angeles Lakers. We tell you they came in with 10 at halftime, and Shaq had 5 on his own. It's just very discouraging when you cannot take care of your own defensive board. And at playoff time and in every major game that's a pressure game for you, you've got to take care of your own defensive board first.
Longley with his 4th foul, and you're looking at a situation where the Suns could have won 3 games in this series, did win 1, coming to LA. If they had to win this game going back home, who knows what happens. I mean, look at Philadelphia and Indiana in that series. But it hasn't been that way tonight. Here is Kidd. Bryant stays with him. Longley leaves it for Kidd, who's open. Good ball movement, but again, the Suns can't convert. And Bryant turns it over. One of the rare turnovers by the Lakers tonight, only 5. Hardaway in the lane. And it's one of those nights for the Phoenix Suns. They cannot get anything to go down. Under 8 minutes to go in the third, and Shaquille O'Neal outstretched from Kobe Bryant, and it is 54-25. So Shaq now with 11 points and 18 rebounds. He had 20 rebounds in game 2. Hardaway foul.
Now to the loose ball tonight, the Lakers win every loose ball. And this is just an excellent recognition. Harper to the Shaq. Shaq sending it down strong. Now the guy in the foul line right now, Penny Hardaway. In the first 4 games of the series, leading scorer for Phoenix, 25 points a game. Just played some of his best basketball and was doing an excellent job defending on, right there, Kobe Bryant. And it's just interesting how, with Kobe getting off to a quick start tonight, it just seems that it's upset his game at the offensive end because he's been getting good looks at the basket and cannot score.
1 for 8 is Hardaway. Kidd the rebound on the miss by Rice. A 27-point lead by the Lakers. They were up by 29 just a few moments ago. And a Laker foul, and that is against Glenn Rice, picking up his 4th foul. But foul trouble is meaningless as far as the Lakers are concerned, as long as they have such a balloon lead out here. Rice will sit down, and Rick Fox will come back in the game. Fox with 2 3-pointers in the first half.
You know that statement, this is why you play the games. You know, it's such a throwaway line all the time. And for us, doing game 2, that was such a barn burner. Doing game 3 came right down to the last 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Watching game 4, where Phoenix routed. You honestly thought coming in here tonight that this Phoenix Sun team was going to come out, lay it on the line, shoot a high percentage, make their threes, attack the glass, and look great. Just like that series right there. That's what we were looking for.
Well, if nothing else, you knew they were going to play hard. And that's something they haven't done up to this point. Marion getting the basket. 24-point lead for the Lakers, who lead 3 games to 1 in this series and undefeated in the playoffs here at the Staples Center. Hardaway against Bryant does a good job defensively, and here is Kidd pushing it up. Here is Cliff Robinson. That's the basket he would hit in the last couple of games.
Yeah, well, that's what they made here in game 2 and stayed in the contest. And it was a barn burner right to the finish because they came in with 5 makes. On Sunday, they routed the Lakers because they made 10 threes out of 21 attempts. Tonight, it's not in the cards.
And it's so much different between home and away to this Phoenix Suns team. And it's a totally different team as far as tonight versus Sunday. As Hubie mentioned in game 2, they almost pulled it out. 56-30 the score with under 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Here is Kidd dropping it down to Cliff Robinson. Longley is open.
You need a little surge here. Just a little surge to get the confidence up. They said to get maybe a little swagger back in their game. But it's got to come at the defensive end.
Well, here it is, a turnover, and Robinson feeding Longley, and a jump ball as Fox tied up Longley. And even when the Suns have the advantage, they look like they've never run on a basketball court before and didn't know what to do when they got the ball in a pass.
You always must be careful throwing the ball to a center who does not handle on the fast break. And that was a perfect example in traffic.
Action.
Do I go now?
Action.
Greetings, television viewers.
And cut. Settle.
Free internet deck.
And cut.
That was take 10. Greetings, television viewers. Bob's taking a break from his spokesperson role in order to do some directing. So, freeinternet.com has asked that I fill in. Have a wonderful day. How was that?
Oh, boy. Now for the Lakers, Rice has the basketball right here, and he's going to pass the ball into Shaq. Now keep an eye on AC Green right here. As soon as his man leaves the double team Shaq, he will come right behind him and come right to the front of the rim. Shaq will find him with a pass. They do it time and time again. Whoever's man helps out, goes right to the front of the rim, Shaq will lay it right on you. Shaq has 3 assists this evening. And throughout this series, he's done an excellent job in finding the cutters off the double team.
And he's going to be trouble for anyone because it's not a matter of 1 or 2 men defending him. The whole team can't cover Shaquille O'Neal, and that's going to be a big factor in the next series if the Lakers, of course, move on as they're headed right now. Tip won by the Suns. Jason Kidd, and you said it, he's got to have a good game. He's the barometer tonight for this team. 1 for 9 shooting, no assists. Longley misses a reverse layup. Robinson gets his own rebound and finally is fouled. And that's the first time tonight we have seen relentless effort on the offensive board by Suns.
Throughout this series, Phoenix has been able to stay in the hunt because of their ability to score points on second chance opportunities, fast breaks, and then the battle of the paint. They have a plus in all 3 categories. Tonight, we have not seen any of that. And Dick, you brought out a great point because when they missed the drive by Longley, Robinson came flying in.
Robinson misses both free throws. Suns are putting on a clinic, but not the kind of clinic you want tonight. It's the opposite. 5 minutes remaining in the third. It's what not to do in a big playoff game. Kobe Bryant going up and yelling for the foul and finally gets it. And Penny Hardaway with the personal.
Yeah, Kobe coming off that screen on the side decided to go to the baseline, and the double team came. You see, they chased him down to the baseline. Watch Kidd come into the picture here. Once there, the guy coming on the trap is responsible for the split.
Well, the Lakers get it back. Robinson could not hold on to the rebound on Kobe's miss, and the Lakers get a new clock. You're not seeing a replay. It's been this way all night. Lakers very alert to the loose ball. And knocking it away, Todd Day forcing that turnover, and the Suns get it back with under 4.5 to go in the third. 24-point lead for the Lakers. Here is Day, open for three. And the rebound by Shaq. So Shaq now with 20 his game 2 series high.
Well, we always bring it out that when two good teams play at playoff time, you've got to have an inside presence. Now, if you do not have a post-up game, you've got to get there off the dribble into the painted area so you can get the potential three-point plays in the paint. Well, we are not seeing that tonight at all for Phoenix, where in games 2, 3, and 4, they continue to attack off the dribble, get into the paint, finish, get fouled, or kick the ball out and knock in a long three-point shot. Unfortunately for them this evening, we are seeing none of the three above.
Jason Kidd with his third foul, and Scott Skiles perplexed, I'm sure, with, if nothing else, the effort that he's getting from the Suns in this game. As Robert Horry and Roger Rogers will come into the game for their respective teams. As A.C. Green goes out for the Lakers and Luke Longley, as the Laker fans, it's been a comfortable night for them, anticipating perhaps a war, but it has been anything but. The Lakers taking advantage of the Suns' lethargic effort early and then making all the hustle plays tonight. It's 58-32 LA. 15 for Kobe Bryant. Robinson, no good on the three.
Oh, it's just time and time again.
Ron Harper going strong, getting the basket. Fine move by the veteran Ron Harper, playing with an arthritic knee, hampering his style.
Well, between Harper and Shaw, they have been getting an excellent production. They're splitting the games 24 minutes apiece. Brian Shaw doing a terrific job point-wise. Harper giving him good defense and some nice rebounding.
And Rogers blocked by Robert Horry. As we get close to 3 minutes remaining, Shaq going behind his back to Rick Fox. And the Suns bringing it up. Crowd looking for a lot of showtime tonight with the Lakers comfortably in front. Memories of past Laker title teams. Here's Day. Tips is in his own miss for the Suns.
Well, we know that Day is a street guy, so right now they're looking to make some threes. You have Rogers in there, Day, also Hardaway and Kidd. So you're looking, hey, if we're going to make a shot, we got to put our three-point shooters in there. So we're going to be small, but what we're going to do is hope that we can hold the Lakers to one shot, get some turnovers, get out in the open floor.
Lakers turn it over, but the memory of Laker championships and the previous trip to the conference finals back in 1991 before their sweep 2 years ago. But they're looking for the gold rings this time around.
It's the dream of a lifetime, the chance to become a legend while the whole world is watching. Get set for Wimbledon on TNT. Monday, June 26th through Friday, July 7th, the best tennis in the world is coming to TNT.
I think this game is going to obviously put the winner in a situation where they can close the series out. And that's what we're looking for as a team. I'm sure they're looking for the same thing, and we understand that, and they do too. So it's a big game. This is a game that's probably going to decide this series.
Yubi, is there any way you can draw a pattern to the series thus far?
No, I think the unexpected has happened in this series. And also, I'm happy to see that Hardaway is going to give it a try tomorrow night, Timmy Hardaway. And hopefully he'll be able to make a solid contribution for the Miami team. You know that the defensive flow will be there. At the other end, I'm hoping that Camby can get his game together because we know that he is such an inspirational leader for the New York Knicks. Double-figure points and double-figure rebounds with a couple of shot blocks. You know, those two guys, Hardaway at the one end for Miami, Camby at the other end for New York, and it should be a great game.
Each team has won one game on the other team's home floor, as Horry fouled Cliff Robinson, who made good on the three-point play. And with 8 points, he and Penny Hardaway lead the Suns.
You'd like to see them get something out of this full court pressing in that, but that the traps aren't hard enough, and then they are able to get to the basket like in a situation like that. Now, Horry just took a big-time sprawl right into over the camera guy and into the front row of the fans.
And that's hard because you got those the metal of the cameras in your way.
Yeah, now this is a strong move by Robert Horry. Now, in the first half, Horry and Fox came in with that second group, made big contributions. Between them, they made 3 threes.
Looks like a photographer got hit on the head in the in Horry diving into the crowd. Always a dangerous situation with sharp objects there.
Well, as we know, it's a dangerous situation for the NBA player because they cannot stop on a dime. They're flying in there, and then they're elevating, and they're releasing, and they're up very high. They get fouled, they stumble. The camera people are so close to the baseline that there is no area for them to miss them. So
they can't move out of the way.
Absolutely. You can see it right there. You can see that the camera caught part of Horry as he went up over the top. A very dangerous situation.
2:10 remaining now in the third quarter. The Suns shooting 4 of 18 here in the third. Not much better than their 2 of 17 performance in the second quarter. Rodgers with the fall away and a high arcing shot. And that's the first time I remember the Suns getting back-to-back baskets in a long while.
Well, it's nice to see them come down the floor now and press after scores, not only just on foul shots. Now, you know that after they try one trap, then they immediately just match up.
Shaq misses, Hardaway the rebound. 23-point lead for the Lakers, and the Suns trying to come back, and Rodgers throws it away as Robinson thought Rodgers was going to try the three and the mix-up, so the beat goes on.
That's the soul story. Never assume that a guy is going to shoot the basketball. Keep your eye on the ball until you see it's released from his hand.
Under a minute and a half remaining here in the third quarter. Shaq going up. Follows up with his own rebound. So Shaquille O'Neal not only has 13 points, but 21 rebounds, a series high for him.
Well, right now they're trying to play Shaq with Rodney Rogers or Cliff Robinson, and we know that it's a mismatch with size. So when Shaq goes up and misses, you know, he can almost easily go to the offensive glass and get the second rebound.
Rogers got a missed shot there, and the Lakers coming back with Harper with under a minute remaining in the third quarter. Kobe Bryant guarded by Jason Kidd with 9 on the shot clock. And here is Kobe feeding Shaq. The two-man game inside. Shaq and Kobe each with 15 points in the game. 30 of the Lakers, 66. Here is Robinson for 3, in and out. Todd Day getting the offensive board. And now the Lakers playing for 1.
The disappointing thing here tonight is not the missed shots. The disappointing thing on Phoenix's behalf are the forced turnovers. Okay, the turnovers are careless. It's very sloppy passing, and then we have people not functioning as a group. Guys are passing up open shots because they do not want to take the shot, passing the ball to a guy who is covered, and you never like to see that.
Mix-ups on offense. Here's the foul, and it's by Hardaway. Kobe Bryant making the first. Lakers outscoring the Suns 28-9 in the second quarter, as the Suns with 23 points in the first half, tying the lowest ever in an NBA playoff game, and the fewest ever for a first half. That'll do it.
Oh, wow.
And technical foul has been called as Rodgers hits the floor. Scott Skiles is off the bench. A very hard foul, and that is an understatement.
Now, Rodney Rogers really hit the floor. Now, I know that the Lakers are going to be arguing that Shaq went for the shot block. And just keep an eye on this now, because Shaq has been, in this series. Now, look at this. See, he goes up here now, and he went for the hand. Okay, now you're going to say, hey, that was a hard foul. Yes, because as he crossed over for the block, he crossed across his chest, and he takes it right into him. Now, we're going to give you another look at this. Now, just watch as he goes for the shot block. Now, as Rodgers attacks him right here, Shaq goes up for the shot block, and as he comes down, he just catches Rodgers hard across the shoulder area and just takes him to the floor.
That's the end of the third quarter with the score, the Lakers 68 and the Suns 40.
All right, suckers, ears up, minds open. This communique is from my friends. Enough is enough. The drug use, the spousal abuse, the violence, it's got to stop. Whether you want the responsibility or not, you are a role model. I know what Charles said, but you missed his point. He was calling for parents to get involved. He wasn't giving you a license to act a fool. We need more role models. The more, the better. Can you dig it?
So, book it off the bus, pick out the car they want, and be on their way in seconds.
We'll call it Fast Break. Our fastest way to rent a car.
Can we get people from the airport to their car quicker?
We can if we give everyone jet propulsion packs.
Crack open the bleeder valve and fill the tank to 800 psi. What?
I like the fast break idea.
That's a great idea.
Yeah,
I like that one. Okay, let's go with that one. Wow.
Let's take a look at tonight's budget rent-a-car fast break. And Phoenix has to live by it. They only have a 3-point edge. The shooting percentages, 22% for Phoenix. Lakers under 40%. And, of course, the turnovers. Jason Kidd, 16 assists on Sunday. 2 days later, only 1. Here is Dan Crawford explaining that foul, Shaq, on Rodney Rogers. Here was the foul, and then the official Dan Crawford.
Unsportsmanlike act. It was after the whistle. That's why it's not.
You can't stop the play.
I understand.
You cannot stop it.
Absolutely right, Ron. But that was not the correct hit. That's an unsportsmanlike contact. After the whistle, it's a technical foul.
That's how we go.
Now, you look at that call right there, and you hear the referee explaining how he saw the call. After looking at it, Shaq definitely went for the shot block, and then he continued through, because you notice his body turned all the way around, and he did take him to the floor. It's a good call for a technical, all right, but I can understand Harper and Bryant trying to say that Shaq did go for the shot block and that it wasn't a deliberate. They're sticking up for their guy.
John Sally making his first appearance in the game. Shaquille O'Neal on the bench with 21 rebounds and 15 points. And there is Penny Hardaway. A lot of the Suns shaking their heads tonight, and Penny picking up his 5th foul. Obviously stays in the game with the team down by 28. Biggest lead was 29 points on 2 occasions. Kidd coming up, and then started the fourth quarter. Dick Stockton, Hubie Brown, Lewis Johnson. Pass from Day into Rodney Rogers. Again, nothing doing.
See, so many times tonight we have seen a guy wide open for a shot, and he'll elevate, and instead of taking a shot, he overpasses into a turnover. Now, we have seen that at least 5 or 6 times in this game.
6 on the shot clock. Rick Fox checks to see where it's at. And the Lakers lose the ball out of bounds. But you're right. There have been a lot of instances. In fact, players thinking the guy was going to take a shot and then trying to go inside and a turnover. Here's Day. Todd Day hitting a 2-point basket. 68-42 Lakers lead early here in the fourth.
Now they're going to stay in this full court trap. You know, it's basically a man-to-man trap. Looking once in a while for a double team off the dribble. Anytime that they get a dribbler to turn his back, they'll come and try to trap the man.
Offensive foul. And John Sally committing the foul. So John Sally getting his first taste in his 11th year. got in for 7 minutes in the blowout on Sunday in Suns' favor, and the Suns turn it over again.
Suns are staying small, just playing Cliff Robinson as your center, matched up with John Sally. The rest of the guys out on the floor, 4 people who can all make threes. Now, tonight we have not seen that, but they're in there for the potential.
Robert Horry and Sally getting the offensive rebound. Excuse me, Shaw. 10 on the clock. Double team on Bryant. The extra pass from Shaw to Glenn Rice. Glenn Rice in double figures with 10.
Well, they're looking for him to get off the schneid because he has really struggled. Throughout this series, he's only shot 30% and in the 20s on threes. So the crowd are just looking for him to step it up because as they march into this next series,
and Todd Day gets a technical foul after committing the foul. So the Suns unraveling, and it started out early in the game when they managed only 14 points in the first quarter.
Now they're not going to allow you to grab onto the man's hip and then try to go for the steal. An excellent call by the referees.
Rice making the technical foul. Todd Day still has some more words for the officials in a timeout. Glenn Rice with 11 points, and the Lakers lead 71-42.
I'm Nikki McCrae, and I want you to make your own WNBA commercial.
Cut!
Makeup, please.
Nikki, listen up. Feel it, okay? All right, let's rehearse your next lines.
If it's great, it will be broadcast on national TV. And all spots will be posted on WNBA.com.
This is good. Roll it.
Quiet, please.
Action.
You might even work with a WNBA player like me. Log on to WNBA.com for all the information.
Cut. Give it to me one more time.
All right, welcome back to the Staples Center as Los Angeles and Phoenix continue to battle it out. Lewis Johnson courtside with Omar Epps, a man who has some serious basketball skills. And as a Lakers fan, how exciting is it to sit here and watch the Lakers really do some damage here to the Suns?
It's only right, you know. They lost that last game. They got pretty lazy, so they're just giving it right back to them. That's all.
Now, we know that Portland has beat Utah, so we're expecting the matchup. Your thoughts on the Lakers and Portland should it end tonight?
That's the one we've been looking at since the beginning of the season. You know, the Lakers and Portland, but it's going to be a hell of a game. We're going to see what's going on.
Movie's doing well?
Yeah, he stopped.
All right. Thanks, Omar. Good to see you, man.
Thanks, man.
All right, Lewis, thank you very much. And Derek Fisher into the game. Feeding John Sally, who was fouled underneath.
Well, Phil Jackson is saying right now, look, we're going to give Sally some work, get him ready for the next round. He's staying with his second unit, keeping Rice out on the floor to stretch the defense. And also Fisher, who came into this series not only with an injury, but also with the flu. So it's nice to see him back getting quality time here. And anytime that you put your second unit like this in and you're going to keep him in for major minutes, what you want them to do is execute, stay together, and remain unselfish.
Lakers have opened up their biggest lead of 31, 73-42. And remember, they beat the Sacramento Kings by 27 in the deciding 5th game in the first round after Sacramento won their 2 home games. So the Lakers, very impressive and decisive games for them in the first 2 rounds. Glenn Rice misses a 2-point shot, and the Suns have it with 3 minutes gone by, and they have scored only 42 points.
Well, you look at Glenn Rice's game. See, when you put in a triangle offense and Shaq plays over 40 minutes, well, then you cannot post up Rice, and that's a facet of his game which is missing this year. We know that Rice can post up. We know he's a great perimeter shooter, but he would get to the foul line more if they got him into some post-up situations.
Rice coming in the game shooting 30% from the field, and he is 3 for 9 in this game. Rogers fouled by Robert Horry, and the 3-point play. 73-45 in favor of the Lakers. Lakers headed for the Western Finals against the Portland Trail Blazers, who won earlier tonight against Utah. Winning that series in 5. 6 on the shot clock. Sally dribbles it off of Day's foot. Rogers passes up the 3, and Kidd hits from the corner.
Well, it's just interesting here this evening in the second half. You knew that you were trying to, reduce the lead from 20-plus down to maybe 10. And Penny Hardaway and Rogers have passed up a number of wide-open three-point opportunities to pass the ball to guys. And we had a lot of turnovers, and then we end up with not a three-point shot, but a 2.
Corey misses, and Sally, boy, he looks like he's
Spider-Man. He's got a lot of energy, Spider-Man.
6 rebounds already, but he looks like he's 20. Fisher fouled, and will go to the line. Lakers headed for their 23rd victory in their last 24 home games. They were beaten by the Trailblazers back on January 22nd, and their only loss since then was toward the end of the season when they were beaten by San Antonio. Shaq and Kobe getting a well-deserved rest, and they know they've got a tough series coming up against the Trailblazers, and that should be a classic.
Well, I think if you step back and look at the Lakers right now, they're not playing at the top of their game. There's no doubt about that. Now, you can see the 2 best regular season records in the NBA. Teams split 2-2 during the season, both winning a game on the other team's court. And then the Lakers up in Portland, we know that that was a major win. The Lakers were on a run, and Portland struggled at that time. And really, down in that last quarter, their execution was questionable.
Yeah, we covered that game in Portland, and both teams had 11-game winning streaks. They were both 45-11 as Day scores. And then Portland went downhill, but they have obviously regained their style.
Well, Portland is now healthy, and you like to see it because Grant is come back. He's in shape right now. Sabonis is healthy, along with Anthony. Now, you got to have Anthony healthy backing up Stoudemire. So it's nice to see them ready to go, and they have regrouped now and are playing much better half-court defense. They are into a nice 9-10-man rotation. If you have a weakness at a 2-guard position, they'll not only run Smith, they run Bonzi Wells. So you like their 10-man rotation. The defense is back to where it was early in the year, and everyone is making a solid contribution.
And, of course, Sabonis is a giant in the middle against Shaq. At least they've got a big guy there. Sally foul, makes the first free throw.
In that matchup of Sabonis and Shaq, you have a quality perimeter shooter in Sabonis. Not so much in that deep 3, but at that 18 to 20 foot to bring Shaq away from the basket. Now in this series, we have seen that Blount and also Longley could not do that. So you lose a major advantage in a game. But you know that Shaq is going to have to pay attention to Sabonis, or they can take Shaq in and play him on Brian Grant. So there's a number of ways that you can go here, and it'll be watched to see the chess game going on at both ends of the floor.
Jason Kidd hitting a 3. He is a 3 for 11 from the field tonight, and 8 points. Far below his numbers on Sunday when he scored 22 and had his first career playoff triple-double. Rice defended by Day and Rogers. And the foul with 6:39 remaining in the fourth. That's on Rogers. Timeout with the Lakers rolling by a score of 77-52. We'll be right back.
Team up with Paramount Pictures MI2 as TNT and TBS invite you to enter the Choose Your Mission sweepstakes. Enter at NBA.com or at Finish Line stores. Winners get to pick 2 great NBA prizes. See Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible 2, May 24th.
It's going to be tough not seeing 14 out there. But next year it'll be 12, and then, who knows? After that, it'll be 32. So all great careers come to an end. And
Only so many years for that great triumvirate reached the NBA Finals twice, losing to the Chicago Bulls, giving the Bulls a great fight on both those years. But now you got to wonder.
Well, it's very difficult for them because not only do you lose Jeff Hornacek, you lose Shandon Anderson from a year ago, and that was a quality point scorer that they could not replace. The people that were brought in to fill those positions could not put up the markers that Shandon Anderson did. And then also their frontline people on that second unit did not make a major contribution.
Kevin Johnson, who came out of retirement when Jason Kidd went down with the fractured ankle and then suffered the injury again. Whatever Kidd has achieved in this series deserves a lot of credit. A lot of people didn't even know that he would play at all. Kidd misses the three, and the rebound taken down by Rice. Well, the Suns will not set a record for fewest points in a playoff game, if you were wondering. That ignominious record held by the Jazz against the Bulls. They scored 54 points back in the 1998 finals. And Rice now with 14 points, 6 here in the third.
Well, now it becomes showtime. Everybody's looking for the acrobatic moves, and what you're hoping for is that we do not have any injuries in the last 5 minutes and 50 seconds here.
That would be catastrophic, but at least the starters are out of there with the exception of Glenn Rice. But, you know, the Lakers are going to need their bench against the Portland bench, and actually outplayed them the last game that we had with them in February. Here is Fisher. Rodgers with the rebound. Biggest lead tonight, the Lakers open up a 31-point bulge as Todd Day goes around Fisher for the hoop.
Well, it's that time of the game where you're not seeing the aggressiveness in the transition defense by the Lakers. Now that's just a tough turnover right there. Good anticipation by Cliff Robinson, getting in there, going for the deflection when Horry tried to make that pass.
And they're going to empty the benches, at least Scott Skiles' team will, as Oliver Miller will come in and Jason Kidd goes out. So in the game right now, Randy Livingston, the backup point guard, Oliver Miller, Sean Marion is in there as well, Toby Bailey, along with Todd Day. And a foul with 5:06 to go. It's on Todd Day. You look at the Suns and the injuries that they faced, and we talked about, Tom Gugliotta and Rex Chapman, really crippling injuries that they didn't have those two for the postseason.
Well, I think that when you came down to the end of the year, the Los Angeles Lakers had the best record in the league from the All-Star game down. Then Utah was second, and then Phoenix had the third best record. Now, when you look at that and consider the fact that Tom Gugliotta missed 28 games down the stretch because of surgery. Also, Rex Chapman missed 29 games, and Jason Kidd missed 15. And in the first 3 in the playoffs, you have to give this Sun team and their coaching staff a tremendous amount of credit for how they finished the season. But when you got to this level, the second round of the playoffs, you always must beat one of the 2 best teams in your conference to get to the conference final. So consequently, you need all of your guns.
And you saw the list of injuries, and of course Marion, the impressive rookie, out 31 games with a knee injury. Corey Blunt missed 32 games with knee surgery. So this team decimated all year long. And Derek Fisher hitting the three. You saw the ovation for Glenn Rice, who left the game moments ago with 14, replaced by the rookie Devin George. 83-56 under 4.5 minutes remaining in the game as John Salley blocks Sean Marion foray.
Spider-Man coming out of Georgia Tech into the legs, looking like a young Spider-Man with Detroit, with the shot blocking and the rebounding with that second unit.
Hey, why not another possible ring for Salley, who picked couple up with the Detroit Pistons in the late 80s. Sean Marion misses. A 27-point lead for the LA Lakers, winning going away, and this game was never close. Devin George, the rookie from Augsburg College in Minnesota, and Sally hitting from the perimeter. So Sally off the bench, 6 points, 8 rebounds, and a block.
Well, John is trying to make sure that he locks up that playing time in the series with Portland coming up.
Well, you know, he may get in because of the depth situation. Here's Randy Livingston hitting a 3, former Houston Rocket, who played well when Kidd first went out.
Well, they really like his courage. He's come back strong off the knee surgery, and it's nice to see because the young man, his injury at college at LSU and then in his early years in the pros really hampered his development, but he's come on strong with the Phoenix Suns.
Here's Devin George, who got playing time on Sunday and a foul committed by Bailey. Well, tomorrow on TNT, the continuing saga of the Knicks Heat rivalry. It'll be Game 5 right here on TNT beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern, and the scene shifts to Miami for the 5th game, and Game 6 will be Friday night at New York's Madison Square Garden.
And this young fella has some talent. The Lakers really like him. He's got great hop for his size. He can play that small forward position, also the 2 guard. He's explosive in the open floor, and it's just been interesting throughout the playoffs when Phil Jackson will put him into the game, surprising a lot of people, giving him minutes at quality time.
Who expected that the leading scorer for the Suns at this juncture in the 4th quarter with 3:12 remaining would be Todd Day with 10, and the only player in double figures as Oliver Miller goes to the line, having been fouled.
Well, you back up that by saying in the 4 previous games, the Suns had 4 guys right there in double figures, and then Marion was 9.8. So if you just round it off, you could say they had 5 guys averaging double figures in the series. Explosive team averaging 97 points a game. And tonight, I'm telling you, Dick, I'm still stunned. I've been stunned since the opening quarter.
Well, you made the comment, I've never seen this kind of performance in an NBA playoff game. Enough said. And the offensive foul called.
It's just been a very frustrating evening for this ball club.
28% shooting, 15 turnovers, and it was never there. This game was never a contest. 2:57 remain. 86-60. The Lakers at one point led by as many as 31.
Ernie Johnson in our Atlanta studio. Earlier tonight, the Portland Trail Blazers down by a deuce until Scottie Pippen in the closing seconds makes it 80-79. The game winner by Scottie Pippen. Later, Brian Russell would miss 2 free throws, also a desperation heave at the buzzer in which he felt he was fouled. Portland wins it, and they advance to meet, I would think, the Lakers, though it's not quite over yet. Dick and Hubie.
That's very true, Ernie, but, if this were an election, there would be a concession speech right about 4 minutes ago. Livingston firing it up, and Sally getting the rebound. Heartbreaking loss tonight for the Jazz.
Yes, it was, and they played well the entire evening, and then I feel very badly for Russell, mainly because he had such a strong game, and then it came down to the major 2 foul shots in that situation. But, without him, they would not have been in the situation, in the lead. So it's kind of interesting how throughout the playoffs, over the years, that Utah could not defeat Portland in Portland. And it almost was going to come to an end this evening. But give Scottie Pippen a ton of credit. That was a big-time shot.
Big-time shot. And they lost in 6 games last year to the Trail Blazers in the series. And, of course, you say Scottie Pippen, that's why they got him. They got Scottie Pippen to try to go over the top and win a championship if possible. And they're going to have to go through the Lakers. Both teams staying on course, winning their respective series in 5 games. Under 2 minutes to go, Marion over the top. The Suns tonight setting a record for the fewest points in a first half of a playoff game when they scored 23, and tying the lowest ever for a playoff game in any half with 23 tonight. 9 in the second quarter, and they were never in the game. 1:40 to go. Sally with the jumper, and Travis Knight getting the rebound. The Suns will establish an all-time playoff low with 70 points all-time for their club against San Antonio in the first round of this year's playoffs. And for Penny Hardaway, had a big year, but for the Stars tonight, it wasn't there for Phoenix.
John Sally is so cocky tonight. He not only has the rebounds, but he has the points. On that last screen and roll, he told Shaw, baseline, and come back. And Shaw accepted the double team and came back to Sally and gave him an open jumper. Has not happened very many times in his career in the NBA.
Well, he had a chance to play on his birthday. Turned 36 years old today, and having a ball out there, getting a lot of time with his team winning big. Rebound by Miller. So the Lakers returning to the conference finals for the first time in 2 years. They were swept by the Jazz 2 years ago, and their previous trip was back in 1991 when they defeated the Portland Trail Blazers in 6, the team they're going to have to play again in the conference finals before losing to the Chicago Bulls 4-1 in the NBA Finals. And right now, let's send it to Ernie Johnson in our studios. EJ?
Yeah, Dick, we can fill you in on the schedule for the Western Conference Finals. It'll begin on NBC on Saturday at 3:30. The showtime begins at 3 o'clock. The Blazers and the Lakers at Staples Center. We're with you on Monday night on TNT, and we'll be coming to you from Staples Center with a half-hour pregame show. They'll tip around 9:30, the Blazers and the Lakers in Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals. Let's get back to Dick and Hubie, guys.
All right, Ernie, so pack your bags. You're going to be coming out west and then going east for the final week of our coverage on TNT and TBS, and what a great year it's been, and we have some big games yet to go. A three-point basket by Randy Livingston is second of the game, and 37.5 show on the clock. So Ron Harper, who of course played with Phil Jackson in Chicago and was really the only spokesman after that horrendous game number 4, chided his team for not having the killer instinct and said on Tuesday night we are going to beat the bleep out of them, and Ron Harper proved to be correct. And there's that beanie baby on the head of the AC Green UB, which of course they never had when you coached the team. Did you have any players to wear a beanie baby on his head?
I'm sorry, we could not match that. All right. Must be a good luck charm for AC, especially in this building.
Travis Knight on the block on Randy Livingston's drive, and the crowd of what's left of it on its feet. Lakers are heading for the Western Conference Finals, and a date and a duel with the Portland Trail Blazers, and that should be a beauty. So we have 6 seconds remaining, thanks to our producer, Jeff Benke, our director, Billy McCoy, Jeff Randolph, and all of our great crew, our cameramen, audio men, everyone in production and the technical crew, Marty Aronoff, our statistician, as the final seconds tick down, and the LA Lakers win big in the decisive game as they did in round 1, as they rout the Phoenix Suns by a score of 87-65 and eliminate the Suns 4-1 and move on to the Western Conference Finals against the Portland Trail Blazers. Right now, let's send it out to Lewis Johnson.
All right, Dick, thanks a lot. Kobe, an amazing change tonight. Congratulations, by the way. But how do you go from allowing a team to score 71 points in the first half to just 23 tonight here at the Staples Center?
Well, it's a gut check. They play very well on their home court. But no matter what they do in Phoenix, they still have to come here to L.A.
Now, Portland has eliminated Utah, so you know who your next foe is. How do you figure the matchup, even though this win is still fresh on your mind?
Well, we played each other pretty equally in the regular season. But the playoffs is a whole other scenario because you have opportunity to prepare for a team. But we're looking forward to it. It's going to be fun.
All right, Kobe, congratulations on the win. Closing out the series here. Let's go back over to Dick.
All right, Lewis, thank you very much. Good to have you with us, as the Suns scored 52 fewer points tonight than they did in Sunday's Game 4. Kobe with 17. Shaq had 15 points, 21 rebounds. Suns with 29% shooting. Todd Day, their only player in double figures, with 10. So our final score, once again, The Lakers 87 and the Suns 65. Coming up next, it's Inside the NBA, presented by Hyundai, where you'll find more post-game reaction from both of tonight's playoff games. So for Hubie Brown and Lewis Johnson, this is Dick Stockton saying so long from the Staples Center in Los Angeles. And after this break, we'll go to Ernie Johnson in our studio in Atlanta. So long, everybody.
And we welcome you back to Studio A here in Atlanta. Ernie Johnson, George Karl, Kenny the Jet Smith, Peter Vesey. Inside the NBA is coming your way next. Complete coverage of this night in the NBA playoffs. We do know what the Western Conference Finals schedule looks like, at least the early games. On Saturday, it all begins at the Staples Center in Los Angeles with the Blazers and the Lakers. Coverage begins at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. We're back at you as far as the Western Conference Finals go on Monday night with a live pregame show from Staples Center at 9 o'clock. They'll tip around 9:30, the Blazers and the Lakers. And so the two teams with the best records in the NBA will meet in the Western Conference Finals. That ought to be something.